I think
What do you think?
the history of India is India started from day one as a country being diverse. 20 plus languages, every religion in the world. So we've had to manage it from the first day onwards.
From day one.
But in terms of religion, caste, creed, languages, food,
It's pretty much part of your
it's part of our
your life.
DNA. It's part of DNA. It's part of the DNA. I mean, you'll see it. You go into a cafeteria in a company. I don't know what Amdocs. Even the food is diverse. North Indian, South Indian. There'll be dishes from everywhere.
And they have one that Indians have always learned to be creative, mix batches, and it's coming by almost naturally now.
Almost naturally. Then you can make the best multicultural managers in the world. That's where you are strikingly different from perhaps Chinese people.
Indians are quite adaptable.
Adaptable.
In fact, if I may say so, more than some of the Asian cultures, even Western cultures, much more adaptable.
Yeah.
And they gel around with most of the cultures in the world. It is not one of the cultures that was non-aggressive through the histories of the world. So it was on the more adaptable, flexible. That's if you see even the roots where it coming from in terms of the Hindu religion, where it started, and Buddhism came out of that, and everything is about non-tolerance and Gandhi. If you look at the history, it's again non-violence and tolerance and flexibility. So somewhere that is inherent.
Speed. There's a speed here. Everybody, especially you see in the conference, the younger generation wants everything now, today, tomorrow. So there's a much more faster pace, and I think particularly in the last 10 years, because the economy has been growing 7-8% plus. So when the economy is growing 8%, people want to grow 15%.
Also, it's a very competitive society. There's lots of competition, even to get into the colleges, the schools. So every stage of the life you're competing to get. So that spirit of competition that I need to prove myself, I need to do something to move, is very, very high. So they learn fast, they adapt fast.
He's always
But
like
if
that.
you see now, in last few years or last decade, lots of Indians have become managers and are global, and they are doing very well. Because, as I said, Indians adapt very well. So although there may be a sense of competition and speed here, when they go outside, they adapt themselves quite well, and that's why they are quite successful outside also as managers.
Like Pepsi Cola. Yeah, the top management, best examples.
Citibank, lots of
people.
In fact,
Can you give some advice, if possible, to Japanese for their globalization?
For global?
The speed of trust needs to be slightly more, probably
Faster.
Yeah. So I understand the Japanese people, as I understand the culture, and I may be wrong. They take time to understand, get into depth in those. And yes, the relationships are long term once they understand. But sometimes that speed becomes a bottleneck, and the speed of understanding somehow needs to increase.
I would say one is, besides the speed, is integrate more. Integrate more with the local.
With the local people.
Get to know them, try out some new things, and once you do that, then the trust will come when you realize that.
Then trust will come automatically later, right?
Yeah, it'll come. And the other thing I would give particularly to many Japanese expats is, don't be afraid of the language challenge. Most Indians will understand it, will slow down. They do not, because very often with Indians communicating with Indians, there are language challenges. So
we want trust first, and then delegate and deeper relationship.
So maybe start with trusting rather than distrusting. Start with the trusting first, unless proven wrong.
Unless proven wrong.
So instead of saying
that's the other way around.
Exactly. So
it all comes from a long-term, a lifetime sort of relationship. So we don't believe in short-term trust. Only when you commit. For long term, then we
start with trusting rather than from a position of non-trusting and then slowly building that trust. Start from a position of trust unless somebody breaks it, and most of the time they will not break it. If your expectations are very clear, you put it on the table, most people will keep that trust.
I'm looking for a key word about Indian style management, Indian work values. like in China, they told me room for growth. That's the key motivator in China. In Thailand, wear different hats depending on the types of the staff you're managing. In Japan, security in exchange for loyalty, perhaps. Is there any key word that describes the Indian work values the most?
I think
Achievement.
Yeah.
Achievement.
Achievement and adaptable.
Adaptable.
They adapt. They look at the final goal. They try to achieve it. In the journey, they adapt.
Yeah, I'd say be extremely flexible and learn to operate in ambiguous situations. There's an Indian word that's often used. It's called Jugaad.
Jugaad.
Yeah, Jugaad means, I don't know how do you translate it. It's a very
Jugaad.
difficult word to translate. It means
Basically, to reach the ultimate goal, whatever it takes.
Reach the ultimate goal, whatever it takes.
there's a goal. We'll do whatever, however. It's not always linear process, but we will get there.
Are there many right ways to get
Many
there?
ways.
Many
as long
ways.
as we get there, that's what matters. Be creative, be flexible.
We are very concerned about which way to take.
For us, it's getting there.
So that's why I'm saying
Goal is more
adaptable
Goal is more important.
and achievement oriented.
Adaptable and achievement oriented. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Very informative. Thank you very much.